Greetings, friends. It's Pat back with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. And, folks, it's going to be a really good one this evening. I'm going to be reviewing our trip on Avalon Waterways, and what a great time we had sailing out of Amsterdam doing the Tulips and Windmills. It was great. We're going to have a lot of fun this evening, sharing what all we experienced and lots of images as well. Very, very picturesque itinerary, and you are going to want to stay tuned. And as always, just for our live viewers, we will have a giveaway. Nice prize this evening. It's going to be something very handy for your next trip. So you will want to stay tuned for your opportunity to win that as well. With that said, sorry, folks, I have a lot to cover this evening, and I am just going to dive right in on that. Now, we sailed. It was a 7-night journey aboard the Avalon Panorama, sailing round trip from Amsterdam. And it was a great ship. Now, all these vessels are the same size. This is just a picture of our vessel showing it where we boarded. And this is a group of bikers that they offer all kinds of excursion levels, and there's always something for those who want to be active. And so this is a group of our cruise companions who liked to get out and do the biking, and they are there out in front of the vessel. So something for everyone on those excursions. Here is an aft view of our vessel, the Panorama. It was really good. Now, the ship itself, it is what I would say rather sleek, contemporary flair, comfortable, very nice finishes, but nothing pretentious. It was just a very, very comfortable, inviting vessel, but nothing over the top. Just a clean, contemporary vibe on board the ship. It was great, and nothing either way. It wasn't underdone, it wasn't overdone. It was just a very contemporary, clean sort of atmosphere. Here, that this is the lounge coming. I'm shooting this from the front of the ship, looking back toward midship. You can see the bar in the background there. Very important for some of you when you sail, I know. Now, we had on board every vessel. This is kind of looking back the other way where I was taking that image from, and this is our cruise director, and he is really your best friend. He is the answer man on board these river cruises because he knows everything there is to know about those itineraries, what the activity level is, about how many steps you're going to take on any given itinerary. And there is something, as I said, for everyone as far as excursions go. I'll talk about what we did, but they have usually there's a walking tour of the area. There is something with Avalon to do what they call discovery. We did several of those as well, where you're actually engaged in doing an activity that is sort of reflective of the destination. They have the active. They have gentle walking for those like me who need to do a little slower pace. So something for everyone on these. And folks, despite the fact that I am a little past the prime for physical activity, I did great. One day I really did a lot of steps on cobblestones and things, but I managed just fine. So it was just great as far as activity levels. Now, I wanted to share with you, we were not all fun and games on board this itinerary either. We had approximately 20 suppliers on board, and this is our own Joanne Craig here with Shireen from Norwegian Cruise Lines, and we know Shireen, she's a supplier. So I cannot tell you how great it is and how profitable it is for us to get the opportunity to spend a week with these suppliers. Now we had appointments where we had joined each of these suppliers for dinner. We were able to sign up to dine with them on certain nights. We had what they call office hours where we had quick 10-minute appointments with a number of suppliers. We spent about 3 or 4 hours doing that during the cruise. It was really, this is time when we're building those relationships. So when we need something, we can reach out to these people and they know who we are. Now, on board this cruise, we had over 100 of my cohorts from Oasis Travel Network. That's our host agency. And these were the top performers. And it was an appreciation cruise, getting us all together and giving us an opportunity to experience Avalon for people who are selling the brand. These are the people that are out there where we have been doing this. We know what we're doing. We are selling, and so they're rewarding us with opportunities. No, we do pay, of course, but these are what they kind of experiencing a familiarization trip that we agents do in order to really experience these products and be able to tell you about them, not from reading or hearing about them, but from actual hands-on, foot on the deck experience. So these are priceless opportunities for us to meet with suppliers, build those relationships, and to experience these various brands so we can better guide you when you're ready to take a vacation. We can tell you what really fits your travel style and preferences. So great, great opportunities. Now, I wanted to dive in, first of all, and tell you about our itinerary. And there's going to be lots of images here because this was very picturesque along the way. We had just a wonderful itinerary. Uh, um, Really, I would say this was, for my experience, second to Danube. This was the Tulips and Windmills out of Amsterdam. Just in the springtime is the time. Now, we were just a little bit early for prime time for the bulbs to be blooming. We were about a week ahead of the prime for the viewing. It goes on for about 4 weeks. And this is at Keukenhof Gardens. Now, our itinerary started in Amsterdam, and we proceeded. We got on board the ship. I had lost luggage. They had lost all my stuff. Fortunately, it caught up with me by the time we sailed out of Amsterdam. So I just had the overnight and most of 2/3 of one day without a change of clothes after traveling 24 hours. It was not my best trip. So folks, things happen to travel advisors as well. You know, it's just what airlines do sometimes, but survived it. And got my stuff, so it was good. This is day to Rotterdam. I chose to go to Keukenhof Gardens. Now, this is an incredible botanical garden, kind of between Amsterdam and Rotterdam, and they have they just go on for 8 weeks, folks, where they have this spring garden. They're just open for the 8 weeks, but it is breathtaking. And like I said, we were a little early for prime bulb viewing and blooming, but it was still absolutely gorgeous. There was so much to see in the early blooming bulbs and so forth. It was just absolutely breathtaking. You can see the daffodils there. Want a closer look? There you go. And by the way, folks, these are my pictures. This photography challenged person, still, I was able to get some very, very good images just with my little iPhone. And I love Keukenhof Gardens. It was absolutely stunning. They have a beautiful gift shop there. Picked up a little couple of little things for my sister, and we just had a lovely day. Highly recommend if you are a person you enjoy the flowers and these beautiful gardens. Springtime, the tulips and windmills would be a great experience for you if that's your thing, and I enjoy them as well. Now, our next stop was Antwerp. Here we get, and again, this is a fairly good sized city there in the Netherlands. And what we did there, we did one of the discovery tours there. This is our chocolate making uh, 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 excursion here that we just had a fabulous time. It was a lot of fun. We molded and made chocolates and it was just one of those hands-on delve into the local activities and what they have to offer. And chocolate, of course, in this area of the world is just a given. It is absolutely one of the things to come back with when you go to this part of the globe. This is Joanne again. She was my roommate on the cruise, and she made this little chocolate mustache here. So there she is modeling that for you. That's her own handiwork. She drew that mustache and displayed it there. Fun time. Antwerp, we chose to do the chocolate making experience. Great fun. Now, our next stop on the itinerary was a city called Ghent, kind of a mid-sized city, but we didn't hang out much there. We actually opted to go to Bruges in Belgium. Oh, this was one of my favorite stops as well. This is as we are entering the area there, as we're walking into this charming old city. Some of the buildings date back to the 13th century. Absolutely beautiful. We loved this charming city. We did some steps that day, folks, but it was very easy. I love the fact that you do have cobblestones, but not a lot of steps here. The Netherlands, needless to say, is pretty flat. It's known for being a good bit of it actually completely below sea level. If it weren't for their dikes, they would be underwater. So this was one of my favorite places on our itinerary. Here's Joanne again. She was we just had a great time. This is probably the awfulest picture I've ever taken, but there's me showing, yes, indeed, I was there. So it was just a bad hair day and everything else, but just showing a few of these beautiful images of the things that we saw in Bruges. We spent several hours there. We had lots of free time to do some shopping, to have lunch on our own. We had a delightful lunch at a little restaurant on the square there. Great service, and they were very kind, and we just enjoyed that very much. But this is just a few of the images that I got as we were just wandering through this charming village full of shops, by the way, all kinds of little shops, old buildings, history. It was just absolutely a charming place to visit. And I was absolutely right on in having done that excursion. There's no way I would have wanted to do anything else that day. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love about the river cruises is the fact that not only do you see these major cities, but you stop in these charming little villages along the way as well. Our next day, we went to a little village called Middelburg. Now, it's just a small village. Here again, I opted to do just a little walking tour that morning, but just a couple hours we spent meandering through with a guide. And folks, this I highly recommend. I have clients who don't do guided tours. They just wander off on their own, and that's well and good. But folks, when you take the time to do the guided tour, and you should, because it's free with these cruises, you should do the guided tours. You'll have some free time to go back on your own. But when you do the guided tour, you have an opportunity to understand the context and the history. You understand what you're seeing, and it's not just wandering around looking at that. Oh, isn't that cool? Because you understand the history, the age, everything that was going on. And I apologize, I just have a little postnasal issue going on this evening. But this is just one of the many charming, just just absolutely adorable little houses that we saw. And so the facades are just beautiful, and they all are UNESCO protected for the most part. They cannot change these exteriors. They are to stay that way for perpetuity. They can remodel, update, and modernize the interiors all they want, but these exterior facades must remain historical. And here's a cloister that we visited. It was absolutely stunning. I just loved that beautiful place. It was just kind of gave you the whole flavor of absolutely gorgeous. And here, Middleburg again. This was just an kind of a little walkway. We turned a corner, and here this was. It was just charming. Cannot say enough about this. Just a couple hours spent wandering along the village. We didn't stay here very long. We were maybe there 3 hours because we had some other things that we wanted to see as well here. Uh, we stopped that day and then proceeded on. Next stops, we spent the next day, we were in a village of Middleburg, walking tour that morning, and followed by just, and this is Veer, another little village we visited. Just absolutely get the idea of the charm of these areas. Now, one day on board, uh, we had two ladies came on board from Holland in their native garb, just showing us a bit about uh, cheese and the local beverage, a brandy sort of drink that actually felt like it was putting you on fire. I didn't do more than a tiny sip. Kathy was bolder. Kathy really, she got, she tried each of them. They had 3 different varieties and some local cheeses that were just delightful. They explained, we learned about the cheese making and what is a young cheese as opposed to an aged cheese and what are the differences there. Just really enjoyed that. It was Then we ended up back in Amsterdam. We did a full circle and we opted to do another discovery excursion here. Some of us went to learn how to paint like Van Gogh. So here's a little image of our group here in the studio. They held this actually at a museum that had nothing but engines, old engines. If you're into mechanical things, this was a very interesting place, but they just had rows and rows of these old engines on display. It was kind of fun, and we had the whole place to ourselves, and we spent the day doing our interpretations of Van Gogh. And folks, there's mine. I don't think I'm going to quit my day job. But it was fun. It was time well spent. It was relaxing. It was fun. We laughed together. And the area where we were right there, these are just a couple of images that I took from just outside. We were on one of the canals here. The houseboats line the canals. People live there and commute from there. And just over across the parking lot, yes, there was the quintessential windmill that you find in Holland. They are everywhere. Uh, Now, I wanted to report a little bit about the things that we had on the ship. The Wi-Fi, for example, I will tell you that um, we had decent Wi-Fi, but our problem was now we had a total of about 130 people on board this ship, and we were 130 travel advisors roughly on board this vessel. And we really did tax their internet because we're all producing travel agents, is why we got invited on this trip. And we needed to get some work done. And so we really did overtax their Wi-Fi. We had some issues. I don't think on a normal cruise that this would have been a problem. It was just the makeup of our particular group, the fact that we are all travel agents. We're all trying to get some work done when we're on board. And I could receive emails very well. The problem came when I was trying to send them, and I would have to just delay because they would just go into my drafts folder and they wouldn't send many times. So, but eventually I did get them sent by odd hours, jumping up out of bed early in the morning and sending my drafts from the previous day. Had to just kind of work around some of that. They were trying, but it was just an unusual situation because we had so many people trying to work, and that's not normal on these cruise lines. You have a few people online at the same time, and I'm sure the Wi-Fi is perfectly adequate for that. And folks, are you interested in doing a river cruise? We can help. I've given you our contact information below. Go to our website, dancingmoontravel.com. We have agents located strategically throughout the USA to serve your travel needs. If you go to our website, you will find a listing of all our agents, where they're located, and you can select who you would like to have help you with your next river cruise or other travel needs. And our phone number, our 800 number, you can also select there. There's a contact form if you prefer the email route to reach out to us. But do reach out to us because we have the expertise to know which cruise line might best be your choice for your specific travel requirements. Now, I just want to finish. I'm nowhere near done yet, folks. The food. If you're hanging with me, I'm going to talk about the food. And we did have plenty of it on board this vessel. First, I'm going to say, if you are a waffle person, and I'm not, but about halfway through, I decided one morning, I just was in the mood, and I ordered a Belgian waffle. Oh my goodness. It was like nothing I had ever had before. And I had one for the last 3 days of the cruise. I had one because it was nothing like any waffle I've ever eaten here. The poor tasteless things that we substitute here in the USA, the texture, the flavor, it was absolutely just amazing. You just had to you have to try it if you get into this part of the country, because their waffles are something totally different than anything I've ever experienced here in the USA. We have also here, I'm just going to go through some of the things. This is one of the, for breakfast, you had a lovely buffet of choices. And for lunch as well, they always had 2 kinds of soup. They had build your own salads. This is one I put together all by myself, and it was delicious. Um, and at dinner time, you had 4 courses. You had an entree or an appetizer. It might be you'd have a choice of 3 or 4 appetizers. Soup would be your second course. The soups, folks, were absolutely amazing. Every single one that I tried was absolutely delicious. This happened to be near the end of the cruise. This was an eggplant soup of all things. It was just delicious. And, we were there, it was still a little chilly. So when we came in and from an excursion and had lunch, lovely to start with a cup of soup. It was just delicious. Our meals on board were very good to excellent. There was something for everybody, plenty for. They worked beautifully. If you have any dietary issues, any allergies, gluten-free, that sort of thing, vegetarian, never a shortage of something for you to eat. Joanne was my travel companion. She has some special dietary requirements, and they met her needs beautifully all the way through. And here again, here's another evening meal, one of our entrees, and a dessert. My personal favorite. I love creme brulee, and they did a beautiful job with it. Had a little liqueur flavoring in this one. It was just delicious. And that was I would have to give the food very high points. They did a great job and excellent at meeting special needs. Now, who should go on Avalon Cruise Lines? It's well suited for people who like to travel well. You want things that are pretty much all included. Now, what you're going to pay extra for on an Avalon cruise, your transfers will be additional. Your crew gratuities will be additional. They have every day, if you like a cocktail, you get beer and wine with lunch and dinner. You get a happy hour before dinner from 5:45 to 6:45. At 6:45, the cruise director comes on and starts telling you about the next day's activities, so you will know what to expect the following day. And that's also displayed on your TV screen, so you can check if you forget anything. You can check what's up for the next day on your room. So very good. So if you do any beverages, sodas, beer, wine, cocktails outside of the happy hour or meals, you will pay extra for that. So who should go if you enjoy a very inclusive cruise experience? You like convenience. You want to be right in the middle of everything. These river cruises take you right into the centers of these beautiful cities, charming towns. If you like to explore and be right in the middle of everything, you like choices of activities, whether you like to be active or you're more gentle walker and explorers that I am these days, you are going to find something to suit on these. And that's about it, folks. I highly recommend Avalon. We had an amazing time. If you want to talk further about the options for river cruising and what you can do, I wanted to include entertainment in here. I didn't mention the entertainment, but let's close out with this because they had some great entertainment as well. One night in particular, they brought aboard this great 3-piece band. Take a look.
Just can't wait to get on the road again. My friend loving is making music with my friends. And I can't wait to get on the road again. All right, yeah.
So that was great. There we were in the Netherlands listening to U.S. country music, and they were good. We had some trivia, we had some other music on board, so there was entertainment. You weren't just left to your own devices in the evening, and it was just a great experience. So anyway, reach out to us if we can be of any assistance to you as you want to plan your next activity, your next vacation. Reach out to us. Visit dancingmoontravel.com or call us at the 800 number, and we are here to help. Now, as I indicated, we have a giveaway, and I am going to give away this evening. This will be great for anybody who travels. This is a great uh, accessory for you to hang on your door if you're cruising, if you have a lengthy stay at a hotel where you're going to be there a few days. You need a little storage, you need some place to stash stuff. This over-door storage is great. I just want you, if you're listening live only live listeners, I want you to enter Avalon River. Those two words, Avalon River, just if you're live only this evening, enter that in the comment section below, and you will be entered in tonight's drawing to win this overdoor organizer. Great for cruising, for river cruising, or for any lengthy resort or hotel stay. It will come in very handy for your stay. That's it, folks. Highly recommend the Avalon River Cruise. We had an amazing time, great product, great experience, and I guess second to Danube. Danube is still my first choice for itinerary, but second to Danube, I loved this itinerary. Highly recommend it. That's it for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys and appreciate your checking us out again this evening. Bye for now. See you again next week.